Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of your English listening practice. Today's story is all about something we all love, yet often don't get enough of: sleep. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's learn some English while discovering why sleep is one of the most powerful things you can give to your mind and body. Sleep is essential. You can't function or survive without it. It might sound simple. We sleep because we're tired, but sleep is one of the most fascinating and complex processes in the human body. While your body rests, your brain is busy cleaning, organizing, and repairing itself. During sleep, your brain works like a librarian, sorting through the memories and experiences from your day. It decides what's important and what can be forgotten. It files useful information into long-term memory and clears out mental clutter. That's why after a good night's sleep, you can remember things better and think more clearly. While you rest, your body also takes the time to repair muscles, balance hormones, and strengthen your immune system. This is why when you're sick, your body naturally craves more sleep. It's trying to heal you faster. Scientists have discovered that while we sleep, the brain uses a special cleaning system called the glymphatic system. It removes waste products that build up while we're awake, kind of like washing dishes after a long day. The deeper your sleep, the more efficiently this cleaning process happens. Adults typically need 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night for the brain to perform at its best. But let's be honest, how often do we actually get that much? Many of us scroll on our phones late at night, finish work, or watch just one more episode, and then we wonder why we wake up tired. Too little sleep doesn't just make you yawn in the morning. It affects your memory, your mood, your ability to focus, and even your creativity. When you're sleep-deprived, your brain slows down. You make more mistakes. You might get irritated more easily. It becomes harder to stay motivated or positive. Scientists say that if you go too long without sleep, it's similar to being drunk. After 20 hours of no sleep, your reaction time and judgment are as bad as someone with alcohol in their system. Imagine driving like that. It's dangerous. Lack of sleep over time can have serious effects on your body. Studies show it increases the risk of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and even dementia. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about your long-term health. Let's think about why we often sacrifice sleep. Many people believe that working late or sleeping less makes them more productive. But in reality, it's the opposite. Your brain becomes slower and less efficient. You spend more time fixing mistakes, and your creativity drops. Imagine two people, Emma and Jack. Emma sleeps 7 to 8 hours each night. Jack sleeps only 4 or 5. Both wake up early to work. For the first few hours, Jack might seem fine, full of energy, maybe even proud of his discipline. But as the day goes on, his focus fades. He forgets details, makes small mistakes, and feels frustrated. Emma, on the other hand, feels steady and calm. Her brain is alert, her memory sharp. By the end of the week, her work is better, and she still has energy left for her personal life. The truth is, sleep is not wasted time. It's an investment in your performance, your emotions, and your future self. Let's talk about sleep hygiene, a few habits that can transform how well you sleep. First, create a relaxing evening routine. About an hour before bed, turn off your phone, computer, and TV. The blue light from screens tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep. Instead, do something calming. Read a book, stretch, or listen to quiet music. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends.
Your body has an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. When you keep a regular schedule, this clock stays balanced, and it becomes easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Be careful with caffeine. Coffee, tea, or energy drinks might give you a boost during the day, but if you drink them too late, especially after 3 p.m., they can keep your brain alert long after you want to sleep. Alcohol can make you sleepy, but it actually disrupts deep sleep. Heavy meals before bed can do the same. Try to keep your dinner light and finish eating at least 2 hours before you sleep. The environment in your bedroom also matters. Keep it dark, quiet, and cool. Use curtains to block out street lights and keep your phone away from your bed. Even small notifications can wake your brain up and disturb your rest. Exercise is another powerful tool. Just 30 minutes of moderate activity, walking, dancing, cycling, can help you sleep better at night. It reduces stress and balances hormones that regulate your sleep cycle. But maybe you're thinking, I just can't fall asleep. My mind keeps racing. That's a common problem. In that case, try to create a wind-down ritual. For example, write down your thoughts in a journal before bed. This helps you clear your mind. Or practice slow breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. This simple rhythm tells your brain it's safe to relax.
Sometimes our inability to sleep comes from emotional stress. Anxiety, overthinking, or sadness can make it hard to shut down. That's why taking care of your mental health is just as important as turning off your phone. Think about what you do in the first hour after waking up. If you grab your phone immediately, your brain gets flooded with information and stress before it's even awake. Try stepping outside, stretching, or drinking water first. Morning sunlight tells your brain it's time to start the day and helps regulate your sleep rhythm for the next night. The relationship between sleep and emotions is fascinating. When you don't sleep enough, your brain's emotional center, the amygdala, becomes more reactive. You feel stronger negative emotions and less control over them. That's why even small problems can feel huge when you're tired. On the other hand, good sleep strengthens the connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic and self-control. So when you're well rested, you handle stress better, make wiser decisions, and stay calmer. Sleep also influences your creativity. Have you ever had a great idea in the shower after a good night's rest? That's your brain connecting distant thoughts while you sleep. Many scientists, musicians, and inventors have said their best ideas came after dreaming. Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, and Salvador Dali all used naps or deep sleep as part of their creative process. Einstein even said that he solved his hardest problems not while working, but while sleeping. So next time you're tired, don't feel guilty for resting. You're not being lazy. You're giving your brain the space it needs to recharge and innovate. To sum up, sleep affects almost every part of your life: your body, mind, emotions, memory, and creativity. It's the foundation for everything you do when you're awake. Practice good sleep hygiene, protect your rest, and your days will feel brighter, more focused, and more joyful. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy learning English through interesting stories like this one, make sure to subscribe and listen again tomorrow. Each story helps you relax,
improve your listening, and learn something new about the world in English. Remember, the better you sleep at night, the better your brain will function, and the better you'll feel. Sweet dreams and happy learning.
Have you ever noticed how quickly you reach for your phone when you feel bored? You open it without thinking. You scroll, watch, click, and suddenly 15 minutes are gone. Maybe you didn't plan to do that. Maybe you just wanted to check one message. But somehow, you got lost in a world of notifications and dopamine hits. This is not your fault. This is how the brain works. Dopamine is a chemical messenger that drives your motivation and pleasure. It's what makes you chase things that feel good: food, success, likes, or even that next episode of your favorite show. Dopamine itself is not bad. In fact, without it, you wouldn't get out of bed. It's what helps you learn, grow, and reach your goals. But there's a problem. In today's world, everything around us is designed to trigger dopamine, fast, easy, and often. Think about it. You no longer need to wait for anything. You can get food delivered in minutes, find a new song instantly, or watch hundreds of short videos that make you laugh or cry within seconds. It feels good, right? But here's the trap. The more we chase instant pleasure, the harder it becomes to enjoy real, lasting happiness. When everything comes too easily, your brain starts to expect constant stimulation. Suddenly, reading a book feels boring. Working on your goals feels too slow. Even spending time with friends without checking your phone feels uncomfortable. Your brain is always looking for the next hit. This is what scientists call the dopamine trap, when we become addicted to quick rewards and forget how to enjoy the process.
Let's pause for a moment. Think about your own habits. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you check your phone? Do you scroll while eating? Do you watch something every time you feel tired or sad? Many of us do. Because it's easy. It distracts us from discomfort. But every time we choose quick comfort over slow effort, we teach our brain that pleasure must always come fast. So how can we escape this cycle? The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. Start by observing your patterns. When you reach for your phone, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I bored? Am I avoiding something difficult? Just noticing the impulse already gives you power. You don't have to stop everything at once. You just need to become conscious. The second step is to create dopamine balance. That means you allow yourself to enjoy pleasure, but you also practice doing hard things, the things that don't give instant results, but bring deep satisfaction over time. It's about training your brain to enjoy both, the quick and the slow. Here's an example. Let's say you love watching videos online. Instead of stopping completely, try this. Set a limit. Watch for 20 minutes, then do something that requires effort. Go for a walk, read a few pages of a book, or learn a new English phrase. Your brain will resist at first. It will whisper, just one more video. But if you stay with the discomfort for a few minutes, something amazing happens. Your brain starts to reset. You begin to feel calm. You start to notice small joys again. The sound of birds, the warmth of the sun, the taste of your coffee. That's the power of balance. When you stop chasing pleasure all the time, simple things begin to feel special again. In psychology, this process is called dopamine detox. It doesn't mean you cut all fun from your life. It means you take small breaks from constant stimulation. No phone, no social media, no music for a few hours. Just quiet. It's not easy. At first, you might feel restless, but after some time, you'll feel peace. You'll start to hear your own thoughts again. You'll reconnect with the part of yourself that doesn't need constant noise to feel alive. Now, think about your goals. Maybe you want to learn English, get fit, or start a business. These things take time. They don't give instant dopamine hits. But here's the truth. Real success is slow dopamine. It's built through repetition, focus, and patience. Each time you sit down to study, even when you don't feel motivated, you're training your brain to enjoy effort. And that is the secret to long-term happiness. Let's make this practical. Here are 3 steps to start building a healthier dopamine relationship today. Step 1. Delay gratification. When you want something, wait a few minutes before you get it. If you feel the urge to check your phone, count to 60. If you want to eat something sweet, drink some water first. These small delays teach your brain that not everything needs to happen right now. Step 2. Replace passive pleasure with active pleasure. Passive pleasure is when things entertain you, like scrolling or watching. Active pleasure is when you create or engage, like cooking, learning, exercising, or talking to someone. Active pleasure gives you more lasting dopamine because it involves effort.
Step 3. Reward effort, not only results. When you finish a study session, tell yourself, "Well done, I showed up." When you practice English, celebrate that you tried, even if it wasn't perfect. This shifts your dopamine from "I need to win" to "I love growing." Remember, your brain loves progress. Every time you do something that feels slightly difficult, you release dopamine too, but in a balanced, sustainable way. That's why people who challenge themselves, even a little bit each day, feel more alive and fulfilled. Here's something to think about. Dopamine doesn't make you happy. It makes you want. And if you don't control what you want, your wants will control you. So choose your wants wisely. Want growth, want peace, want meaning, because those are the kinds of rewards that don't fade after a few seconds. There's also a deep connection between dopamine and your emotions. When you rely too much on external stimulation, you often lose connection with your internal world. You forget how to just be, to sit with yourself, to think. But when you slow down, when you breathe, when you spend a few minutes without seeking stimulation, you reconnect with your inner strength. This is why many people today feel anxious or empty, even when life looks full. They're surrounded by excitement, but their minds are tired. True happiness doesn't come from more pleasure. It comes from deeper awareness. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Start small. Take 5 minutes each morning without your phone. Go for a walk without music. Try to feel what's around you. Try to listen to the sounds, the air, your thoughts. This is how you train your brain to slow down. And as you listen to this story, think about your own life. What are the small changes you could make today to bring more balance? Maybe it's studying English for 10 minutes instead of watching another video. Maybe it's writing your thoughts instead of scrolling. Every small step counts. If you learn to control your dopamine, you learn to control your life.
You become stronger than your impulses. You start to feel free again, free to choose, not just react. So, next time you feel bored, don't rush to fill the silence. Sit with it. Because sometimes, silence is where clarity begins. Sometimes, the best dopamine hit is peace itself. The truth is, you can't remove dopamine from your life, and you don't need to. You just need to guide it. Use it to build, not to escape. Use it to grow, not to numb. Every time you choose growth over comfort, your brain changes. You're literally rewiring your mind for resilience, focus, and joy. So pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Smile. You're not behind. You're just learning to slow down in a world that's moving too fast. And remember, the most powerful pleasure isn't in the next notification. It's in becoming the person who doesn't need it. Keep going, keep growing, and keep listening. Because the more you listen, the more you learn, not just English, but the language of your own mind. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe and stay with us for more. Every time you listen, you train your ear, your focus, and your inner peace. And that is the best kind of dopamine there is. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep believing in your growth. Subscribe for more English stories that inspire your mind and your heart.
Have you ever had that strange moment when you walk into a room and completely forget why you went there? Or maybe you meet someone new, shake their hand, and a second later, their name is gone from your mind. You smile, laugh awkwardly, but inside you think, what's wrong with me? Is my brain getting old? We all have moments like that. And the truth is, it's not just age. It's how we live, think, and treat our brain every single day. Your brain isn't like a machine that breaks down. It's more like a muscle. It grows stronger when you use it right. But if you stop challenging it, it gets lazy. And that's when you start to feel slow, forgetful, or even unmotivated. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, this is a place where we improve our English through stories that inspire, teach, and make you think. So before we start, tell me in the comments, where are you listening from today? I love seeing our global community. It reminds me that we're all learning, growing, and keeping our brains young together. Okay, so let's begin our story. This is a story about a man named Daniel. Daniel was 72 years old, a retired teacher from a small coastal town in England. His hair was white, his back was slightly curved, but his eyes, they still had that spark, that light of curiosity. Every morning, Daniel walked down to the beach. He loved watching the waves crash against the shore. He said it helped him think. But one morning, something small, something random, changed his life. He was sitting at his favorite cafe, sipping coffee, when two young travelers came in. They were speaking Spanish, fast, passionate, full of rhythm. Daniel couldn't understand a word, but he loved how alive it sounded. That night, he couldn't stop thinking about it. He asked himself, could I still learn something new at my age? The next day, Daniel walked into a bookstore and bought a beginner's Spanish book. The cashier looked surprised. For your grandson? She asked. Daniel smiled. No, for me. And that's how it started. At first, it was frustrating. He forgot words 5 minutes after learning them. He mispronounced everything. But he didn't give up. He listened to podcasts, watched Spanish cartoons, repeated short phrases every day. And something strange happened. He began to feel sharper, more focused, more awake.
After a few weeks, Daniel realized he was remembering small details again. Grocery lists, birthdays, where he left his keys. His friends noticed too. "You seem younger," one said. Daniel laughed. "Maybe I am." But what really changed wasn't his face or body. It was his brain. By learning, by staying curious, he was literally keeping it young. Scientists say that when you learn something new, like a language, your brain grows new connections. It's like building new roads between cities. The more roads you have, the faster and easier ideas travel. That's why people who stay mentally active often feel more energetic, creative, and emotionally balanced. So today, let's talk about how you can do that. How you can keep your brain young no matter your age. And yes, we'll practice English along the way. Step 1. Challenge your brain every day. Your brain loves novelty. New things, new problems, new patterns. But many people stop learning after school. They do the same things every day, in the same way, and wonder why life feels dull. If you want your brain to stay young, you must challenge it daily. It doesn't have to be big. Learn one new English word. Watch a short video about something you don't know. Try using your non-dominant hand to brush your teeth. These tiny challenges tell your brain, stay awake, stay alive. Daniel used to call it the morning puzzle. Every morning, he picked one Spanish phrase to practice. Some days he forgot. Some days he got it right. But what mattered was the effort, that daily spark of curiosity.
Step 2. Move your body to move your mind. This one might surprise you. Physical movement directly affects your brain. Every time you walk, dance, or even stretch, you increase blood flow to your brain. More oxygen means better memory, focus, and creativity. Daniel used to take long walks by the sea and listen to Spanish songs. He said that somehow words stuck better when he moved. And that's true. Studies show that people who exercise regularly have younger, healthier brains. Not because of magic, but because movement wakes up your neurons. So if you want to remember English words better, don't just sit, move while you listen. Walk and repeat sentences. Dance while you practice. Let your body help your brain. Step 3. Connect with people. Do you know what's even more powerful than studying alone? Talking. Human connection is like food for your brain. When you talk, especially in a second language, you activate multiple areas: memory, emotion, logic, creativity. Daniel joined an online Spanish group. He said the first session was terrifying. Everyone spoke faster than he could follow. But slowly, week by week, he began to respond, laugh, share jokes. And with every conversation, he noticed his confidence and memory growing. So don't isolate yourself. Even if you make mistakes, talk. Comment in English under this video. Join online communities. Speak out loud. Because your brain doesn't learn from silence, it learns from interaction.
Step 4. Feed your brain right. Your brain is a living organ. It needs good fuel. Omega-3 fats, water, fruits, vegetables. These things literally protect your neurons. When Daniel started learning Spanish, he also changed his diet. He said, "I realized I can't expect my brain to work well if I feed it junk." He started cooking simple meals with olive oil, fish, and colorful vegetables. After a few weeks, he said his focus improved and he felt lighter, mentally and physically. So next time you grab a snack, ask yourself, is this feeding my brain or just my cravings? Step 5. Rest and sleep. This one is simple but powerful. During sleep, your brain cleans itself. It removes toxins and builds stronger connections. That's why after a good night's sleep, you often find that you remember things better. When you don't sleep enough, your brain ages faster. It becomes foggy, slow, emotional. Daniel used to stay up late reading, but when he began going to bed earlier, he said learning became easier. It's like my brain says, "Thank you," in the morning, he joked. Step 6. Stay curious. This might be the most important one. Curiosity is the energy of youth. When you stop asking questions, you stop growing. Daniel once told me, "The day I stop learning is the day I die." That might sound dramatic, but it's true. Curiosity keeps your mind flexible. It helps you adapt, explore, and discover new ways of seeing the world. So be curious. Ask why. Try things. Watch English videos not because you have to, but because you want to. Read a short story and imagine what happens next. Play with language. Learn because it's exciting, not because it's homework. And let me tell you, your brain will thank you for it.
Months passed, and Daniel kept learning. Every morning, his Spanish notebook grew thicker. He could finally hold small conversations, order coffee, even tell a joke. One day, he booked a flight to Spain, something he had always dreamed of but never dared to do. When he arrived in Madrid, he walked into a small cafe, just like the one back home. The waiter smiled and said, "¿Qué desea, señor?" Daniel took a deep breath and replied, "Un café con leche, por favor." His voice was calm, confident, natural. The waiter nodded, and Daniel smiled, not because he had said the sentence correctly, but because he realized something beautiful. He wasn't just learning words. He was keeping his brain alive. That night, as he walked through the streets of Madrid, the city lights reflecting in his glasses, Daniel felt something he hadn't felt in years, a deep sense of connection. To people, to the world, to himself. He whispered quietly, "I'm still young." And that's the secret, my friend. You don't need magic pills or time machines. You just need to stay curious, keep learning, and take care of the amazing brain you already have. Maybe you're learning English right now and sometimes feel tired or slow. But remember, every new word, every new sentence is a spark. You are literally creating new pathways in your brain. You're training it to stay young, flexible, alive.
So don't stop. Keep learning. Keep exploring. Because the moment you stop challenging yourself, that's when your brain starts to grow old. And if you ever doubt yourself, think of Daniel, a man who started learning at 72 and found his second youth through curiosity, language, and courage. Now, before we end, I want you to ask yourself one question. What's one new thing you want to learn this week? Write it in the comments. Maybe it's 10 new English words. Maybe it's a short podcast. Or maybe it's just taking time to rest. Whatever it is, do it with purpose. Because learning isn't only about knowledge, it's about life. Thank you for listening to this story. If it inspired you, don't forget to subscribe. Here, we learn English through stories that help you grow, dream, and live better. Keep your brain young, your heart open, and your curiosity alive. One story at a time.
Have you ever wondered why some people change their lives completely while others stay stuck in the same place for years? It's not because of luck, it's not because of talent, it's because of small habits. Tiny choices that over time shape who we become. By the way, welcome to this channel. Here we learn English through powerful short stories every single day. Just one story a day, make it your new habit, and you'll see your English grow naturally. We often think that success comes from big actions, writing a book, running a marathon, starting a business. But the truth is, big results are built from small steps, repeated every single day. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, explains it simply. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just like money grows when you invest it regularly, your habits grow when you repeat them. And even if the change feels invisible in the beginning, it is working in the background, shaping your future. Think about it this way. If you improve by just 1% every day, you won't notice much tomorrow. But after a year, you will be 37 times better than when you started. That is the power of small, consistent habits. Now, here's a question for you. Why do most people fail at New Year's resolutions? Every January, millions of people decide, this year I will lose weight. This year I will read 50 books. This year I will wake up at 5 a.m. But after a few weeks, they stop. The gym becomes empty, the books are left unread, the alarm clock is ignored. Why does this happen? Because we focus too much on the goal and not enough on the system. A goal is the result you want. A system is the process that gets you there. If you want to lose weight, your goal might be to lose 10 kilos, but your system is exercising 3 times a week and eating healthy meals. If you want to write a book, your goal might be 300 pages, but your system is writing 500 words every morning. Without a system, a goal is just a dream.
But there's an even deeper truth that James Clear discovered. The most powerful way to change your habits is not to focus on what you want to achieve, but on who you want to become. Let me explain with a simple example. Imagine 2 people trying to quit smoking. Both are offered a cigarette. The first one says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The second one says, "No thanks, I don't smoke." Do you hear the difference? The first person still sees themselves as a smoker who is fighting against their habit. The second person already sees themselves as a non-smoker. Their identity has changed. When your identity shifts, your habits naturally follow. So instead of saying, "I want to read more," say, "I am a reader." Instead of saying, "I want to exercise," say, "I am an active person." This small change in language builds a stronger belief inside you. Here's another big myth. People think habits depend on motivation. We wait for the right mood. We wait for inspiration. We wait for the perfect Monday to start. But the truth is, habits don't need motivation. They need a system. Imagine brushing your teeth. Do you feel motivated every morning? Probably not. But you do it anyway because it's part of who you are. The secret of strong habits is not motivation, it is automation. You want to make habits so small and so easy that you can do them without thinking. James Clear gives us a clear framework, 4 laws that help us build good habits and break bad ones. 1. Make it obvious. If you want to build a new habit, make the cue visible. For example, if you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. 2. Make it attractive. Pair the habit with something you enjoy. If you like drinking coffee, decide that you will only drink coffee while reading. 3. Make it easy. Start small. Want to exercise? Begin with 2 minutes of stretching. Want to meditate? Just sit quietly for 1 minute. 4. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself immediately. Our brain loves instant rewards, so make sure the habit feels good in the moment. On the other hand, to break a bad habit, you do the opposite. Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, make it unsatisfying. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Dave who wanted to lose weight. For years, he tried diet after diet, but nothing worked. Every time he stopped eating sugar, he would soon eat even more of it. Then one day, he changed his approach. Instead of focusing on the goal, he focused on the system. He decided, every day I will go to the gym, but here's the rule. I can only stay for 5 minutes. Strange, right? What can you do in 5 minutes at the gym? Almost nothing. But Dave kept going every single day. After a few weeks, the habit became automatic. He didn't have to think about it. He just went. Once the habit was strong, he naturally started staying longer than 5 minutes. In 1 year, Dave lost more than 20 kilos. Not because of motivation, not because of a perfect diet, but because of one small, consistent habit.
So, how do we really build strong habits? James Clear gives us a powerful idea. Don't focus only on what you want to achieve. Focus on who you want to become. Think about it. If you want to run a marathon, don't just say, I want to run 42 kilometers. Instead, say, I am a runner. Why? Because when your habit is connected to your identity, it becomes stronger. Every small action proves to yourself who you are. For example, when you go to the gym, even for 10 minutes, you are saying, I am an athlete. When you write 1 page of your book, you are saying, I am a writer. When you watch this English story, you are saying, I am a language learner. Small actions, repeated, shape your identity. Another big lesson from Atomic Habits. Goals are good, but systems are better. Here's what that means. A goal is the result you want. I want to lose 10 kilos. A system is the process that leads you there. I go for a walk every evening. If you only focus on the goal, you might feel pressure, stress, or even failure when you don't reach it fast. But if you focus on the system, the daily habits, success becomes automatic. Think of English again. If your goal is, I want to speak fluently in 1 year, you might feel frustrated when progress is slow. But if your system is, I watch 1 English story every day, then every day is already a success. And in 1 year, fluency comes naturally. Now, here's something practical. We often think habits fail because of willpower. But James Clear shows us habits fail because the environment is not designed for them. So here are the 4 laws of building good habits. 1. Make it obvious. Put the book you want to read on your pillow. You'll see it before bed. 2. Make it attractive. Pair the habit with something you enjoy. For example, only drink your favorite tea when studying English. 3. Make it easy. Don't plan to read 50 pages. Just read one. Don't plan to run 5 kilometers. Just put on your shoes and step outside. The smaller, the better. 4. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself. After you study, mark a big X on the calendar. Our brain loves visible rewards. With these 4 steps, habits stop being a fight. They become natural.
But what about bad habits? Scrolling TikTok too much? Smoking? Junk food? James Clear has advice here too. Reverse the rules. 1. Make it invisible. Hide the cigarettes. Delete the app from your phone. 2. Make it unattractive. Remind yourself of the negative effects. This junk food makes me tired. 3. Make it difficult. If you always buy sweets, don't keep money in your pocket when passing the store. 4. Make it unsatisfying. Ask a friend to hold you accountable. For example, if you eat fast food, you pay them $10. This system works because it changes your environment, and your environment shapes your habits. Real-life example. Let's imagine a story. Anna wants to improve her English. She sets a goal: I will study English 1 hour every day. She does it for 3 days, then she stops. Why? Too big, too difficult. Then Anna tries James Clear's method. She says, I am an English learner. She makes her system simple: 1 short story a day. She puts her notebook on the desk, her phone on airplane mode, and a cup of tea next to her. Now, every evening, English feels natural. After 6 months, Anna doesn't just study English, she lives it. It's part of her identity.
That's the power of atomic habits. Now, let's return to the ice cube story. Remember how the ice doesn't melt until the temperature hits 0? That's called the plateau of latent potential. In life, it means this: your efforts may feel invisible for a long time. You might not see progress. But under the surface, change is happening. One day, suddenly, it becomes visible. You speak English without fear. You run 5 kilometers without pain. You wake up early without an alarm. People call it overnight success, but you know the truth. It's the power of small habits repeated over time. So, what do we learn from atomic habits? 1. Small changes matter. 2. Identity is stronger than goals. 3. Systems create success. 4. Make habits easy and rewarding. 5. Bad habits can be broken by changing the environment. Your future is not built in one day. It's built in the small choices you make every day. Now, I want to ask you, what small habit has changed your life? Please share it in the comments. And if you found this story helpful, I'll be truly grateful if you subscribe to the channel. Remember, just 1 story a day can grow your English, naturally, step by step. See you in the next video.